As soon as I get an opportunity, these blue hairs are gonna get smoked. I was reminded of something the other day. You know, whenever you move, you have all these boxes of all these things, and you know, you use stuff every single day, but then when you go to pack other things up, you see a lot of things that have just kind of been thrown in a box and forgotten about. Like, I've got all my papers from college, and I've got a bunch of stuff that my parents had from when I was in like grade school, and I just kind of threw all that stuff in a box. And one of the things that I saw is I had a big old tub full of postcards from my sister. At one time, my sister and my brother-in-law both worked in the aviation industry in the private sector, and they would travel all around the world, so I would get all these postcards all the time from my sister. And it was always neat to see where she was. You know, she was all over in Europe, and you know, she was all over the United States, and just in a bunch of really cool places. And each time she was there, she'd send me a postcard saying, oh, it'd be so cool if you were here, we could hang out and go do all these things. These are all the things that I'm doing. And you know, it was really nice. It was a really nice gesture that she was doing all that and thinking of me and sending me all these things. And we'd always talk about it. And my brother-in-law one day was like, you guys are always talking about your postcards, like what about the ones you're getting from me? I was like, what do you mean? He goes, well, I've been sending you all these postcards too from all the places I was going. I was like, well, that's weird because I haven't received a single one. He's like, oh, you're kidding me. I wonder what's going on with that. It's like, I don't know. What address are you sending them to? He's like, you know, 123 whatever lane. And I was like, well, that's the problem. I'm 132 whatever lane. It's like, oh no. And he starts like cracking up, laughing hysterically. I'm like, what? What's the matter? He goes, I was writing all this stuff on these postcards that are like horrible things, all these inside jokes I was making up, like I was doing all these crimes overseas. And he goes, I thought it would be hilarious that you would receive all these postcards, but I guess the funniest part about the whole thing is that somebody else is seeing all these from some mystery guy that's confessing to all these made-up crimes. They probably think it's real. And I eventually found out that the address that all these were going to was this sweet little old lady that I used to shovel her driveway in the wintertime. So she was probably reading all these and sending it to like the police everywhere. Oh, this is that super steep hill. You know that it's steep when it's telling big trucks to go 20 miles an hour in a zone that's usually, I mean, everybody does 60, but it says 40 here. That was fun unpacking everything, kind of go through old memories and stuff like that. There was another thing that I came across that my parents had given me, and I'd just thrown it in a box, and it was one of those tests. They gave these tests to us when I was 12 years old in school, and you're supposed to circle strongly, agree, neutral, disagree, strongly disagree. And it was asking things like, I would like to do research in a lab, or I would like to be a police officer, or I'd like to work with children or be a teacher or something like that. And I was telling my wife that I was the type of kid that was just kind of really relaxed and would go with the flow. And I remember being in maybe 5th grade, and one of the teachers was like, class, what are some of your pet peeves? And I was like, what's a pet peeve? You know, I was just oblivious to everything. They're like, oh, when somebody does something that you find obnoxious and don't like. It's like, well, I don't think I have any of those. She's like, you don't like when people tap their fingers or, you know, nails on a chalkboard? And I was like, no, that's fine. They can do whatever they want. A couple of scooter bros. Scooter bro gang. Where's that guy going? A little shortcut. So I filled out all these questions on this test. Looking back on it now, like, there were absolutely no, like, I extremely like to do this. It was just which ones I disliked the most. Would you like to spend your career in the military? It's like, strongly dislike. Would you like to solve mathematical problems and puzzles? It's like, indifferent. I don't know, I should probably save it and try and do it again. Finally figure out what I want to do with my life.